Every day, people walk right past treasures hidden in plain sight, on the ground, in rivers, and even along the riverbanks, without ever noticing them. But what if I told you that beneath these ordinary stones lies something extraordinary, real gold, and even diamonds? In this video, I'm taking you to the riverbed and showing you what most people never see, nature's hidden fortune, waiting right in front of us. Imagine holding an ordinary pebble in your hand. It looks dull, cloudy, nothing special. You're seconds away from tossing it back into the river when the light hits it just right. And in that moment, you realize this isn't just another stone. It's a diamond, a fortune, disguised as nothing more than gravel beneath your feet. The truth is, most people walk past them. They step over them, splash through streams, kick them down riverbeds, never realizing what they've left behind. But there's a secret trick, a method anyone can learn, that reveals where these hidden treasures rest. A trick built not on luck, but on patience, awareness, and nature's own sorting system. Because rivers are not just water. They are hunters, movers, and collectors. They grind mountains to sand and carry the heaviest materials, gold, gemstones, and yes, diamonds, down their course. And when the water slows, the treasure sinks. This is where the trick begins, at the riverbed. On the inside curve, the current weakens. Heavy stones settle into the gravel, building layers of secrets beneath the surface. Prospectors know this. They don't rush past a bend. They stop, they sift, they search. Because here, where the water hesitates, nature reveals what it has carried for centuries. But recognizing a diamond is not as simple as spotting sparkle. In the wild, they rarely shine like jewelry. Instead, they look stubborn, greasy, cloudy, sometimes with sharp edges that resist the smoothing touch of water. To most eyes, they appear worthless. To those who know, they're unmistakable. Here's how the trick works. Scoop a handful of gravel from a quiet bend. Wash it gently in a pan or even in your palm. Watch as the lighter stones wash away. What remains is heavier. Black sand, metallic grains, and sometimes something different. A stone that feels heavier than it looks. A stone that flashes not with rainbow colors, but with a cold, piercing light. That's when you pause. That's when the heartbeat quickens. Because this isn't about chasing glitter. It's about noticing the ordinary stone that refuses to act ordinary. The one with weight, edges, and a light too sharp to ignore. That's the diamond. And it doesn't end with rivers. The same secret applies wherever nature slows its hand. After heavy rains, gullies cut into the earth, washing away soil and exposing what was once hidden. Under boulders, where water loses speed, stones settle in pockets. Even along dry creek beds, relics of ancient rivers, the trick still works. Diamonds wait where water once flowed. But here's the suspenseful truth. For every diamond discovered, countless others are walked past. They lie inches away from boot prints, buried in sand children play in, glinting in places no one bothers to check. The earth doesn't hide them cruelly, it hides them plainly. The challenge is not luck, it's attention. And once you've seen it, once you've recognized how nature sorts her treasures, you'll never look at a river bend the same way again, because now you know her trick. And now every trail, every stream, every gravel bar becomes a chance to uncover the extraordinary. You now know the secret of the riverbed, the inside curve, the place where heavy stones settle when the current slows. But here's the truth. Nature doesn't hide her diamonds in only one place. The trick works anywhere her forces pause, anywhere water loses strength, anywhere time reveals what it has quietly buried. Think about what happens after a storm. Rain pours down hillsides, cutting gullies into the earth, tearing away layers of soil that have covered treasures for decades, even centuries. For a brief moment after the flood, nature's vault is left unlocked. Stones roll free, heavy ones lodging at the bottom of washes and crevices. If you know where to look the morning after a storm, you may be the first to see what has been hidden for years. That's why seasoned diamond hunters return again and again to the same ground. One day, a patch of gravel looks ordinary. After rain, it tells a different story. The land shifts, the surface refreshes, A stone once buried finds its way to the light, waiting for someone who understands the trick. And it's not just storms. Think of dry riverbeds, ghost channels carved by water long gone. Centuries ago, they carried the same currents, the same heavy loads. When they dried, they left their treasures behind, locked in the gravel. To the untrained eye, these are just stretches of rock and sand. But to those who know, they are time capsules of forgotten rivers, still holding the same promise. Then there are the places where water collides with obstacles. The roots of trees gripping the bank, cracks in bedrock, the hollow beneath a boulder. Every obstruction slows the flow just enough for heavy stones to sink and rest. Diamonds are stubborn travelers. They won't float away. They stay, lodged where the current had no power to carry them further. Here is where patience matters most. The prospector kneels, sifts, washes, and waits. Dozens, hundreds, even thousands of stones slip through the hands. But all it takes is one stubborn pebble, one quiet flash of metallic light, one weight that doesn't match its size. That's the moment that makes all the hours worth it. And here's what separates the finder from the passerby. Attention to the ordinary. Because in the wild, a diamond doesn't scream for recognition. It doesn't sparkle like glass or glow like quartz. It looks plain, greasy, dull, almost disappointing. But that's the disguise. And once you've learned to recognize it, you'll never mistake it again. The trick isn't just about spotting the unusual. It's about questioning what looks too ordinary. Why does this pebble feel heavier? Why does it cut light in a sharp, colorless flash instead of scattering rainbows? Why does it resist scratching when every other stone breaks or crumbles? Those little questions, asked again and again, lead to the extraordinary. And maybe the most suspenseful truth of all is this: you've already walked past them. Somewhere in your life, on a hike, by a stream, after a storm, you've seen one and dismissed it, tossed it, left it where it was, because you didn't know the trick, because no one told you what to notice. But now you know, and knowledge changes everything. Next time you walk a riverbed, you won't rush past. Next time you see black sand pooling on the inside curve of a stream, you'll stop. Next time you pass a dry creek, a gully, or a gravel bar, you'll bend down, scoop a handful, and look closer. Because now every patch of earth has a secret, and every handful of stones could be the one that changes your story forever. Stop. Don't walk past. Don't miss it. Diamonds don't announce themselves. They wait for the eye that understands the trick, and now, that eye belongs to you. And just when I thought the diamond hunt was over, something even more incredible caught my eye. Gold. Have you ever walked along a quiet riverbank and wondered, what secrets lie beneath those ripples? Not deep underground, not locked behind hard rock, but right there, in plain sight. Today, I'm taking you to a place where gold doesn't hide far from the light, a place where a keen eye is more powerful than any pickaxe. Forget the heavy gear. Forget the hours of digging until your back aches. This is about reading the land, reading the water, and letting nature hand you the prize. No shovels required. The air is cool this morning, the kind of crisp that makes every breath taste like adventure. I step onto the pebble-strewn bank, listening to the gentle hiss of water curling around stones. Birds call from somewhere in the trees, their voices scattering across the glassy surface of the creek. You might think this hunt begins with luck, but gold, real gold, is predictable if you know where to look. I scan the current. The first rule, gold is heavy. Even tiny flakes will settle where the water slows. See that bend in the creek up ahead? That's where the flow eases just enough for gold to rest. But I'm not rushing in. There's something about slowing down your eyes until the world stops blurring. Most people walk past 100 signs a day and never notice the sparkle at their feet. My boots crunch over damp gravel, and I pause at a shallow pool, barely knee-deep. The sunlight spills through a gap in the trees, striking the water at an angle. This is where the magic happens. Light turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. I crouch low, letting my gaze skim just beneath the surface. Small stones, dark sand, and then there. Not the blinding flash you'd imagine. Real gold glints with a warmth that light seems to hold, not reflect. It doesn't wink and disappear like mica. It stays steady, stubbornly rich in color, as if it's glowing from within. I slide my hand into the cold water and nudge aside a cluster of tiny pebbles. The weight of it surprises me. Even small pieces feel denser than they look. Between my fingertips, a smooth, flattened flake rests, no larger than a fingernail but unmistakably gold. And that's the secret. It's not about finding the biggest nugget right away. It's about knowing you're in the right place, about letting that first find sharpen your senses for the next. I pocket the flake and keep moving. The stream twists and bends through the trees, its edges framed by roots that snake into the water like the fingers of something ancient. Another rule: gold likes to hide where obstacles slow the current. Fallen logs, rock clusters, or even the base of a sharp riverbed. I stop beside a tangle of roots and kneel. Beneath the surface, the sand swirls lazily. Tiny air bubbles cling to submerged leaves. And right there, just at the lip where the current softens, I see it again. This time it's bigger. A small rounded piece, sunk into the dark sand, catching the low sun. I don't speak. I just let the sight of it hold me. The way time seems to pause when gold is in view. When I finally reach for it, I move slowly, careful not to stir the water too much. The gold lifts cleanly into my palm, and in that moment I know this hunt is far from over. Because once you see gold in the open like this, you start to realize how much is out there, waiting in places everyone else has overlooked. Up ahead, the creek narrows into a channel between two large boulders. The water churns slightly, frothing at the edges, but I can see calmer patches forming just downstream. I kneel at the first calm pool, and this time, I'm looking for patterns rather than color. Dark streaks in the sand. That's black sand, a mix of magnetite and other heavy minerals that tend to settle with gold. If you find black sand, you're standing in the gold's neighborhood. I let my fingers sift through the sand at the edge. Nothing at first, and then a glimmer. It's not a flake this time. It's a thin, curling fragment, like a piece of gold ribbon, resting right where the current dies into stillness. 3 pieces in under an hour. No digging, no panning. Just patience, sunlight, and the weight of nature's own design. I pocket the fragment and glance downstream. The creek disappears around another bend, its surface glinting in the sunlight like a trail of clues. And here's the thing. This isn't a secret that belongs only to remote, wild places. Gold obeys the same rules whether it's in the mountains, a rural stream, or even a suburban creek hidden behind a line of houses. It's all about knowing how to read the water, where to let your eyes rest, and when to trust that small, steady glow. I'm moving again. The sound of the creek growing softer as the trees close in around me. Somewhere ahead, I know, is a place where the current will slow to nothing, and the gold, heavier than the world around it, will be waiting. The hunt has only just begun. The creek winds tighter now, its voice becoming a whisper between the rocks. The air here is cooler, the sunlight broken into flickering shards through a canopy of leaves. Each step takes me further from the noise of the world, and closer to the quiet heartbeat of this place. I can feel it. Gold has a way of telling you you're getting warm. It's not a sound, not a sight, but a kind of intuition built from every flake, every fragment you've ever held. I follow the water until I reach a place where it spills gently into a wide, shallow basin. Here the current dies into a mirror-smooth sheet, and the bottom glows faintly with a patchwork of pebbles and sand. I crouch. The sunlight breaks through in long, golden beams, turning the water into a pane of glass over treasure. At first there's nothing, just rocks, sand, and fallen leaves. But I wait. I let my eyes soften, let the ripples fade, and then it appears. Half buried in the sand is a nugget, not a flake, not a fragment, a nugget, about the size of a grape, its edges worn smooth by years of water. It sits so still, so defiantly bright, that for a moment I don't move at all. When I finally reach down, the cold of the water gives way to the warmth of the metal in my palm. Gold holds its own heat, not from the sun, but from itself, a strange, steady weight that feels alive. I slip it into my pouch, and with it, the knowledge that this find changes everything. Because where there's one nugget, there's almost always more. I fan out my search, working along the edges of the basin, looking for the same subtle signs. The still water, the black sand, the hidden glimmer. It's not long before I find another. Smaller, yes, but unmistakable. Then another, and another. By the time the shadows begin to stretch across the water, I have a small collection. Flakes, fragments, and that single perfect nugget. It's not just about the gold in my pouch. It's about the fact that I've proven something. You don't need heavy machinery. You don't need to tear apart the land. If you understand the language of water, and if you're willing to slow down long enough to listen, the gold will show itself. The forest begins to change as evening approaches. The air smells faintly of moss and cold stone, and the sound of the creek seems softer now, like it's tucking away its secrets for the night. I follow the bank back toward the world, my steps slower, my eyes still scanning even as I walk away. Because now I can't help it. Every glint of light, every shift in the sand feels like another possibility. At the trailhead, I pause and look back. Somewhere out there, beneath inches of clear water, gold lies waiting in the places we pass every day without a thought. I think about the first flake I found this morning, how small it was, how easy it would have been to miss. And yet that tiny glimmer led me here, to the nugget, to the handful of treasures, and to the deeper truth. Treasure isn't always buried deep. Sometimes it's right there, just waiting for the right eyes to notice. And that's the secret I'll leave with you today. You've just seen how gold can reveal itself without a single shovel strike. How patience, light, and a little know-how can lead you straight to the prize. What started as a simple search along the river turned into an incredible discovery. Diamonds hidden in the riverbed and gold lying right there in plain sight. Nature still holds secrets most people never stop to see. Sometimes the greatest treasures aren't buried deep. They're waiting right where you least expect them. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who'd love to explore the hidden riches of the earth. Until next time, keep your eyes open. You never know what might be shining right in front of you.